spot where Mrs. Todd couldn't get any squash to grow, and a jobs with justice sign some little guy came by and stuck in the yard 5 years ago. What's in back is kind of a deck, but the boards are sagging in the middle so it's shaped like a U. You might think there's more weeds under the deck, but wrong. Just concrete. And beyond the concrete, there's some chain link, and beyond the chain link, there's this enormous dirt field, and way out in the middle of the dirt is the low-down gray building everybody calls the Magic Factory. Why it's called that is because that place puts on better shows than 4th of July. I'm serious. 4th of July only might be better because you always know when it's coming. Right after the 3rd, duh. Magic Factory shows are always a surprise. But once it gets going, somebody'll yell, and then everybody comes out to watch. The Sherman sisters have a whole setup with folding chairs. But mostly, people just stand in their backyards or press faces to the chain link or climb it if they've got tiny feet. You can't climb all the way over because of the razor wire. Back when Mom lived with us and Benning was sniffing after her, he'd lift me or Dean up on his shoulders so we could see better. The best thing was when someone was doing a cookout the same night as a Magic Factory show. Like you're chomping down, boiling hot dog juice squirting into your mouth, and then you look over and there's glitter pouring out of the smokestacks on top of the building. I say glitter, but every time is different. Sometimes big spreads of color that hover over the roof, pulsing like heartbeats. Or sometimes just rivers of stars gushing up and spreading across the night and then falling. You clamp your hot dog in your mouth and stretch out your arms, but just when the stars are about to land on your wrists, they disappear. They always disappear. Or sometimes you'll be picking corn out of your teeth and suddenly the air is full of sound. Like music, but no tune and no words, so maybe not like music. Always, it's way too loud to talk over and it kind of hurts your ears. But it also kind of hurts your heart in a way I think everybody secretly enjoys. Like the most beautiful animal in the world is trapped in a cage somewhere inside there. And we're the ones who have to listen to it. And we are the ones who get to listen to it. The day after they hose us down, there's a bunch of caution tape wrapped around the Magic Factory. And down on Marion Street, there's a big padlock on the gate that leads into the dirt field. The sign that said property of the federal government, no trespassing, is gone. And now there's just one that says decommissioned. I'm gonna be honest. There's definitely no geniuses living on this block, but you don't need to be a genius to figure out everyone who got hosed lives in a house that backs up against the factory. I think probably you could even be a little, I know I'm not supposed to use this word, but retarded and still make something of that. What happens next is an email comes with a list of drug prescriptions and a pharmacy voucher for $50. Consumers in the listed neighborhoods may have come into contact with dispersed agents. See Notification 103C. The following regimen is recommended, however has not been endorsed by the FDA. At the drugstore, the pills come to $64.40, so I start counting out change. You got a day off for these? The drugstore lady taps a bottle. What's that? This one's gonna keep you at home for a day. How come everybody's asking for these? Tell you what, I don't envy none of you one bit. Like, what do you mean? You got a question, you call the number. Number's on the receipt. What? Sweetheart, there's a long line behind you. She points, and it's true. Old man and lady, and a woman with a baby on each hip, and everybody's clutching their printed out voucher. So I'm walking past them, and I get this idea to be like, oh, I think I remember you from somewhere. You were the one all muddy and screaming. Maybe you remember me. I was all muddy and screaming too. But nobody laughs. Little brother is on the sofa when I get back to the apartment. Oh, Dean, I know you did not get sent home the first day of school. He rolls his eyes because obviously. Mrs. Shipley lied. Mrs. Shipley said I was in the hall after bell, but she saw me coming and she shut the door early. She slammed it in my face. Why does she hate me so bad? You need to quit the excuses.